Chandra, able to see my screen, please?
Yeah.
That's good. So yesterday we were talking about our Kanban.
Yeah.
We talked about the Kanban called as a classic Kanban, and we triggered some of the Kanbans from the demand source, and those Kanbans were being replenished by our supply source. That is PK12 and PK13N. These are the two transactions used to know the status of the Kanban at the demand source and supply source, right, Chandra? After creating the control cycle, then you can see the demand, basically the Kanban status at the demand source. Kanban status at the demand source is PK13N. Demand source is nothing but the requirement source. Requirement demand of the demand state or the demand area. The transaction code for this one is equal to PK13N. The same Kanban status you can see at the source, demand area and the source area. Demand is nothing but where from where you are triggering the requirement, and the source is nothing but from where you are fulfilling the requirement. That is basically, if it is a, there are if your Kanban requirement can be fulfilled either through the internal or through the national procurement or through the stock transfer. There are the three options available, Chandra. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. After the source area, this you can see that with the help of the transaction PK12N. PK13N will reflect you at the demand, and the PK12N will reflect you the status at the source end. That is what we yesterday we discussed. PK13N. This is the PK13N transaction which we are looking at the demand source. And if I go for one more transaction PK12N, which is nothing but your supply PK12N, and here for this vendor, and what is for this particular material, what is the status of the source. This is the demand one. The demand is nothing but at the plant side, and the source is nothing but is the supplier end. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
And we are able to change the status from one status to another status. The moment I change the status, it is triggering the requirement at the stock requirement list. Just a recap of the yesterday's one. After the supply source and at the demand source, I am making one more status of this particular Kanban as a next status. Next status from wait, after the wait, the next status is empty. The moment I say empty, the status has been changed at the demand. The same thing, the supply source, it has to reflect it. Yes, it is reflected. The moment it is a demand is there, it has to reflect a scheduling line at my MD04 requirement. There is a requirement for 250 pieces. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
This is how the simple signal, which is whatever is the requirement that I want, I am transferring it to the requirement to my vendor without running the MRP, and my vendor is able to take that requirement and fulfill my requirement within the stipulated time. I need not wait for the MRP to run. I need not wait for a purchase. I need not wait for a purchase order. All these formalities, we have been made it simpler with the help of this Kanban, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can have a minimum to minimum inventory level, because the moment you will say empty, the next bin will automatically will be. If you have one bin stock, the moment you will consume that one bin, automatically the next bin will be refilled by your vendor, which is nearby location of your supply area, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay. And one more transaction we saw, that is a control cycle maintenance, that is PK13N. For creation of the control cycle, we use the transaction code PK01, and maintenance of the control cycle is nothing but it will explain you or it will show you the status of the particular control cycle. Maintain the control cycle. This control cycle is basically the key factor which is triggering how many number of Kanbans, what is the Kanban quantity, and what type of a strategy that we have to maintain, all these things are maintained in this particular control cycle. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
And the master data for your this one is equal to one is the very important part is the supply area you need to have and the control cycle you need to have. These are the two mandatory master data. Without this, you cannot trigger any of these Kanban activities as such. Okay,
yeah.
I will use the PKMC one more time. PKMC is basically the control cycle maintenance of the control cycle area, and in this for this particular for the supply area for the plant, if you know the Kanban control cycle number, you can, or otherwise just you can give it with the different specification. When we created yesterday, Kanban cycle was created with control cycle was created, and it will have some specific number. If you know the number, you can put it. Otherwise, you can go to the detailed selection and you can enter the with respect to the material. My material is equal to Kanban 6, and take this parameters as an input parameter, and this is my control cycle number. This is 428 is my control cycle number, Chandra. This control cycle number is created with the number 428. Of course, today we'll look into the configuration. You can understand from where this 428 and all these things are coming into the picture.
Okay.
So this is my control cycle, which is stating such that there are how many number of Kanbans are there. As of now, it is having the 5 Kanbans, and almost 3 are full and 1 is in empty status, and the other is still waiting for the status to be triggered. Right, Chandra?
Yeah.
There is one locking option is there, Chandra. Locking option is in the sense okay, from one stage to another stage, or by any chance the system should not trigger to, or otherwise I will explain now. This triggering to empty to full, full to waiting to empty, empty to full, I think you are clear on this one, right? Okay. One small, this one is a bit more explanation on this and understanding factor. Of course, it is in the configuration, but I am directly jumping to that point. Okay, give me a minute. Because in this concept, it will be useful as well to understand that concept. In the production, this is how where all our Kanban settings are there in this Kanban subheading, Chandra. In this Kanban subheading, one is the first thing is the number ranges for control cycle. Just now we saw that 428 is a number that has been generated, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
How it is generated is based upon the number ranges we assigned it here at the control cycle, right? This number ranges concept is everywhere it is the same. Whichever is the number ranges we have been assigned starting from this number to this number, and the current number is equal to this. If I create one more control cycle, then it will be 429, 420, 430 and so on and so forth, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So based upon the configuration which is the number range to be followed for this particular control cycle, it takes it from this number ranges. Clear?
Yeah.
And that is for control cycle for the number ranges for the control cycle. Then similarly number ranges for Kanban ID. Whether you noticed or not, for each Kanban there is some numbering is there. You see 1128, 1127, 11, some numbers are there, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
That numbers from where it is picking it up, it is from here it is picking it up. You see this? Able to follow me?
Yeah.
The current number is equal to 1132. Automatically it will be 1133, 1134 and so on and so forth. It will be allocated for the next Kanban.
Next one.
Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So number ranges for your Kanban, number ranges for your control cycle. There are two parts. One is number ranges for control cycle and the one is number ranges for Kanban. Kanban number ranges are assigned here and the control cycle number ranges are assigned in the above step. Right?
So question here, like
yeah.
We have like five boxes. So one
right.
is empty. One is empty. As soon as you fill it, it populates with a new number, right? That's
yes, it will keep on giving the new number, Chandra.
Yeah, yeah.
It is this particular number is valid up to still it is reset as a still empty, Chandra. The moment I created the new fresh Kanban, it will generate one more Kanban with a new number.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And the person responsible for the supply area basically is a person who generally there is no specific person who will. MRP controller is a person generally will assign it as a person responsible for the Kanban also, Chandra. MRP controller which we have been defined in the configuration upper part of it, the same person will take care of the those set of the person will take care of the person responsible for the supply area. There is no configuration element you see here for the person responsible as such. It's only the text they have been given. Nothing as such. There is no specific configuration it is here, Chandra. Generally, the MRP person, MRP controller or the person who will take care of the person responsible for the supply area event.
Yeah.
And this is important, Chandra. This is where the actually all the logic is behind, the driving logic behind this one is equal to this is the logic driving behind. Literally strategies. There are three strategies are there, whether it can get it replenished within the in-house, whether it can be replenished from the external source, or whether it can be replenished from the stock transfer strategies. We replenishment strategy with the 002, right? In the control cycle, if I go to the control cycle, we use the 002, which is an external procurement, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
This how this 002 is working. What are the settings for this 002 is defined in this external external procurement. Here, this is my external procurement. For the plant 1000, these are the external procurement. This is one. If it is getting triggered with the help of the purchase order, with the help of the schedule line, with the help of the transport order, all these things are coming into picture, and we have been defined the inner part or the more details of this one is triggered with the help of this camera. Okay, here what is it? Of course, this is the text. This is the plan. Here, this control type is monitoring or controlling how your trigger, what is the signal to be triggered for the Kanban. Because we selected for the scheduling line agreement, so we are selected as a true as the option here. And what is the schedule order type? This is nothing but your scheduling order, scheduling agreement type, Chandra.
Yeah.
And the goods receipt, of course, it has to be one more important factor is signal lock. This is signal lock, Chandra. Signal lock is nothing but, okay, Kanbans are triggered and not triggered manually, it will be triggered by barcode. That's what I was yesterday, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
But barcode, there are chances to scan the barcode immediately at the second time also. By if the user is not so perfect, he can scan it to the second. There are chances to get scanned second time also. I mean, the signal can reflect on the box for the second time also, right?
Yeah.
In order to avoid that, they had given an option called as a signal lock. That means you can once you scan it, that particular status will remain for 10 more minutes in the same status. Suppose, for example, I put a status of 10 here. This is what I want to show it to you. Yesterday there was no signal lock. The moment I can change it at a given point of time, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Now let me put the signal lock for this one as of now. Let us see this effect of this one. I'll explain a bit more on this one. So what I changed it yesterday to this day. Today I put a signal lock of 10 minutes, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me go to our Kanban board at the demand source. This is my demand source. Okay, I'm changing this particular status to once again next status, Chandra. Okay, I changed it to the next status. Now it is empty, right? Okay, I'm going to now supply source. Let me change this empty one. Refresh. Okay, now I changed it to the next status. You see this status can only be changed after this. You are getting my point? Did you notice any difference between yesterday's and this one?
Status can only be changed after
only after tomorrow.
After tomorrow.
Today is on 17th, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, 18th of certain period. It has given certain period. That means the system is not allowing me to change it immediately, right?
Not immediately.
Yesterday, when the moment I can hear, and then I was, because of this signal lock, the system is stopping me to change the status immediately.
So that means like to replenish, it takes you can maintain some gap.
Yes. And the more the significance of this setting is more of the usage of the barcode reader, Chandra.
Okay.
That means by any chance people should not read twice that same status or something like that.
Okay.
You are getting my point?
Yeah.
I hope I made it clear to you now.
Yeah.
Yesterday, without this 10, I used to change it immediately, and we used to see that the difference. It is okay. It is coming to the red to the green, and then stocks are updating. Everything is happening immediately, right?
Yeah.
The moment I said put to 10, it is system is saying such that you cannot change it right now. It takes some more time to change it, right?
Yeah.
Now let me change it back to this one. There is some error log is there. This is the Kanban information. There is some error log is there. Let me correct this error log. An error log was created for this one. Empty is there, no problem. Let us go back. Now let us see that to the next step. Now I am once again able to process this immediately. Chandra, you are able to see that?
Yeah.
Earlier it was denying to change it. Now it is accepted for this change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is how that signal lock is coming into the picture. That is basically to not to immediately change from one stage to another stage. That signal lock is used, Chandra.
Okay.
The concept of the signal lock is equal to that one. Rest is not a very important. The main settings are at which point of time it has to trigger, and what is the document type, what is the goods result, and what is the signal lock. The important settings in the replenishment strategy is concerned.
Yeah.
So almost the different can be for in-house production. If it is an in-house production, then it can be with different. It can be with the production order, or it can be from MRP, or different strategies are there. Almost the settings are with a different combinations. Screen is the same. Only thing is we are modifying the combinations depending upon our requirements. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And the stock transport is basically stock transfer can be, it can be an internal stock transfer, that is from storage location to storage location transfer, or plant to plant transfer, or it can be transfer from the warehouse management event.
Yeah.
So whenever the material is there in the warehouse, I want to trigger that from warehouse to the supply area or main production area it has to come. I use this particular strategy. That is the stock transfer, or the stock transfer with the transfer requirement strategy. It is exclusively used for those materials for which warehouse management is active. This particular strategy. So the replenishment strategies are the main important parameter in the case of configuration settings as far as the Kanban is concerned. Rest is almost the same, not very. The status is different statuses you can maintain, different activities you can maintain, and the error handling. Status sequence from which stage to which stage, status 1, 2, 3, 4, and all. Like that, different statuses you can maintain. Statuses in the sense empty, full, transit, all these, either it can be in a waiting stage, or it can be empty stage, or it can be, all those statuses are maintained here.
Yeah.
From which status to which status if you want. Or text, this is the maintain the text for, if it is a status 1, what is the status? Text is maintained in different languages, even to how that empty is coming, how that full is coming, how that switch are coming, or with the help of this text that is maintained in different languages. And Kanban board, the control cycle display define the control cycles and then Kanban board for a particular Kanban board. Kanban board has two types, right, Chandra? One is the demand source, also you can see the Kanban board, and the supply source also you can see the Kanban board.
Yeah.
If it is a demand source, then how your Kanban board has to look like, you can set some of the settings here, Chandra. Generally, the standard settings are more than enough, but if anything is required, you can do some changes for the requirement, Chandra. Kanban display of the Kanban board. Here also display of the Kanban board is once again the demand source or the supply source. You can display the Kanban board of the demand source or you can display the Kanban board of the supply source. The number or Kanban status and in which sequence it has the label of the Kanban or whether to be no text or with a number, without number or something like that, you can mention it. If it is anything is referred with different options available, you can play with that different options. The Kanban, the important parameter is rather than these things, one is this one, there is one more point is there, I'll come to that one. There is one more point that is basically automatic Kanban calculation. This is important. What is meant by automatic Kanban calculation is, for example, here we made it very clear that I need 5 Kanbans and I need 250 pieces for each Kanban, right, Chandra? The other way of it is, okay, at this point of a time, okay, I want the 5 bins, but whether the quantity per bin is equal to, or otherwise, I can fix up the quantity, I can vary the number of Kanban, or I can fix up the quantity of the Kanban, number of Kanbans, I can vary the quantity depending upon my demand. As of now, my demand is equal to say 1000 pieces. I have to divide 1000 pieces into 5 Kanban, means each Kanban has to hold for a quantity of 200 pieces, right, Chandra? 1 second, just let me make it. Up to here, is it clear to you, Chandra, so far, whatever we have been discussed?
Yeah.
How the main cycle of, actually the base cycle of the Kanban is triggered, I hope it is clear to you now.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming to the bit more details of this Kanban, okay. In the, so far what we studied in the Kanban is in the control cycle is we fixed that both quantity also fixed for quantity per Kanban also fixed. Quantity per Kanban, we fixed it as a 250, and also number of Kanbans also we fixed, for example, say 5 pieces or something, 5 Kanbans or something like that. Number of Kanbans, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever is the requirement. The thing here is quantity also fixed during the control cycle creation, and as well as number of Kanbans also fixed during the Kanban creation itself, right, Chandra? When I am creating a control cycle, for example, when I am creating a control cycle, system is asking you tell me how many number of Kanbans you want and how many quantity for each Kanban, how many you want. This we had given I want 5 Kanbans and each Kanban should have 250 pieces. That's what we maintained in the control cycle, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
But there are certain cases where your Kanbans, there is or cases or the option available where you can dynamically decide the quantity of the Kanban or number of Kanbans. You can fix one and the other parameter as a variable. Suppose, for example, I will fix the number of Kanbans. Number of Kanbans is equal to say 5. But I want to vary this quantity according to my demand. But I'm not fixing up the quantity per Kanban. I'm not fixing it up, Chandra. Quantity per Kanban, this has to vary dynamically based upon demand. In that cases, I will go for this particular concept called as automatic calculation of this particular, this one, Chandra. This concept define the, what is it? Sorry, this is not okay. This is automatic Kanban calculation and scheduling. This one, Chandra. The concept of automatic calculation, automatic Kanban calculation is, during the control cycle creation, we are defining both we are fixing it up both number of Kanbans. Actually, this first is the number of Kanban, and the second one is quantity per Kanban. Right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we are studying bit more additional information regarding to this is okay. This is okay. But if I will go for automatic calculation of the Kanban, automatic calculation of Kanban in the sense, here I will fix up either the number of bins or number of Kanbans, and the quantity has to go ahead dynamically. For example, here I fixed the quantity 5 Chandra. My demand is equal to say 1000 pieces as of now. Then my quantity per Kanban is equal to 200 pieces, right Chandra? Suppose the moment my demand increased to 1500, then quantity per Kanban is equal to say how much? 300, right?
Yeah.
Because my demand is equal to 1500, so this 1500 demand has to be distributed in 5 Kanbans, right Chandra?
That's correct.
So automatically for each quantity for each Kanban, system will automatically decide it is not 200, it is 300.
Yeah.
That is the concept of this automatic calculation, Chandra.
Okay.
Is it clear to you? Is it clear, Chandra?
But what about that container size?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to that. The other way of doing the thing is, suppose if you have a fixed container size, you can fix the quantity per Kanban.
Okay.
I have a fixed size of the quantity per Kanban is equal to say 100 number. Here, number of Kanbans you can vary it.
Okay. Oh, the number will vary. Yeah.
Yes. I hope now it is coming to here depending upon the demand.
Yeah.
Suppose my demand is equal to 2000 pieces, then number of containers I need is equal to 20, right Chandra?
20, yeah.
The moment I say my demand is equal to 3000, then automatically my number of containers or number of bins will increase to 30, right Chandra? Thus my quantity has been fixed. I am changing the variable of one parameter called as number of Kanbans, right?
Yeah.
If I fix up the number of Kanbans, my quantity is variable. If I fix up the quantity per Kanban, my number of Kanbans will be variable depending upon my demand, right Chandra?
Yeah.
That is the concept of this automatic calculation. Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
If I don't want to go for automatic calculation, anyhow we have been predefined number of Kanbans and the number of quantity per Kanban, right?
Yeah.
No, if I don't want to create the Kanbans because I don't know the demand at this point of time, it may vary plus or minus, then you can go for automatic calculation. This is the concept given by standard SAP. Is it clear to you, Chandra?
Yeah.
That part, define the calculation. That will be how this will be defined. Here also, you have some formula, Chandra. There is a formula called as replenishment lead time RTAC. Okay, there is one formula is there. RT into AC divided by something number of Kanbans whole multiplied by SAP safety factor into I'll give that formula, Chandra. I have a small doubt. SAP into SB minus 1 or something, some formula is there. Based upon this formula, system will calculate either the number of Kanbans or number of quantity per Kanban. I have a small, little bit, yeah, Chandra, you are saying something?
No, I'm not.
This formula, exact formula, I'll give it tomorrow, Chandra. But actually, I have a small doubt here. SAP into something is there. What is meant by RT? Basically, replenishment in lead time and average consumption divided by number of Kanbans into the safety period and safety profile or something like that. Some factors are there. I'll explain to you tomorrow. Give me, because rather than giving the wrong formula, I don't want to.
Yeah, okay.
Some formula is there, so that I'll explain that formula tomorrow.
Okay.
So based upon that formula, system will calculate whether it is a number of Kanbans or number of containers. Number of Kanbans or quantity of the per Kanban that will be decided based upon this calculation formula. Define the strategies for calculating the profile. Here amount some that formula, just want to look into the formula. So this is what the thing as far as the Kanban is concerned. And there is one more concept called as Jitkal. Jitkal is nothing but what exactly this Jitkal is. Whatever it has been transferred above that trigger. Now, whenever we are triggering it, we are triggering a scheduling line, Chandra. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah,
We are getting scheduling line here, right?
Yeah.
This scheduling line, maybe you, even though you are triggering it at any given point of time, suppose I don't want to transfer this schedule lines as and when required. I want to trigger this schedule lines to my vendor at a given specific period. Say, for example, weekly ones or say daily ones or some period you have been defined. That can be configured with the help of this git call. Even though the requirement is there, but you are immediately not passing it and you are summarizing all these requirements and sending at a given particular point of the time, right, Chandra?
Yeah, yeah.
So, this rather than triggering at each and every time to your vendor, you can summarize it over a period of a time and then you can send that summarized through with the help of this git call. This git call will in turn will based upon the git call profile and it will give the information to your vendor so that okay, there is a total requirement of this much, you have to transfer that much of quantity to your demand source. That is the concept of this git call.
Okay.
Mainly usually is the event classic Kanban and the here is the defining of the replenishment strategy and the defining of the control cycle and defining of the supply area. And there won't be much configuration for the Kanban server. It is more of user friendly at the front end part of it. If the people are aware of these transactions, it will run smoothly, Chandra. There is no much complications. And it is a simpler system, that is why people prefer to go to Kanban where there is no complications are involved as per the quality and the triggering of the cycles are concerned. And the greatest advantage of this one is there is you can maintain minimum to minimum inventory, and it is purely a simple operator driven system where the demand and the supply can be triggered mutually then and then required as
Yeah, need basis.
Need basis, that's what.
Yeah.
And the front end transactions almost will look into the front end transactions. This is will go to logistics, production, and here also all the Kanban transactions are defined here.
Yeah.
So in order to create the control cycle, you can use the PKMC or PK01 is also there. Kanban calculation, in order to trigger that calculation, you use the create a proposal and check proposal and display that error log. Of course, tomorrow I'll just explain that formula and then I'll explain how this will trigger it.
Yeah.
And as far as the Kanban board is concerned, we know PK13 and PK12 and PK10. That we use it 12, 13 just now, Chandra. Demand source and supply source, we saw that different transactions like demand source is PK12 and PK13 will be printed, right?
Yeah.
And the Kanban signal, that if you want to trigger it manually, the Kanban signal, yes, you can through the barcode or manual entry or the quantity signal, all this you can activate it through the manually. And the supply area, of course, the important part, let me first cover. The PK05, we saw that how to create a supply area. You can copy the supply area and then rename it with the different storage location and then text if you want. Or you can go for entry and then this is how to create a supply area. The transaction code for this one is equal to PK05, which we created one of the supply area as one of the basic master data. Right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So this is supply area and the control cycle of the basic master data, and the basically the configuration driven is the replenishment strategy. What type of replenishment strategy that we are using is the main configuration part of it. These are some of the transactions, MMD, MD04, PK18, all these things that we can PKMC is control cycle maintenance, and it is for display PK13 control cycle as well as the Kanban. It will give you total overall view of the total Kanban and control cycle for a given material. This is for this material, this many number of Kanbans are there, and the quantity for Kanban is equal to this, and replenishment strategy is equal to schedule line. If you want to see the multiple materials at one step, then you use this particular transaction PK18. Otherwise, PKMC is more than enough for a single material. If you want to see list of the materials at one step, there is an option available such that you can select for which materials you want to see the Kanban, and as well as followed by the control cycle. Yes, you can see that with the help of this particular transaction. Suppose I want to see for one more material, say Kanban 5 or something like that. then we can use this particular transaction PK80. There is no more control cycle for that. Okay. Supply area I can be. After that, we will get type of validity. Either we want to see whether with respect to the supply area or the supply. The corresponding supply area we have to give it. If it is a single material maintained at a different control cycle, yes, we can maintain it. Or otherwise, the material and supply area combination you have to maintain it. If I have the same supply area for different material, yes, we can look forward for this particular transaction. So basically, it will list you the list of all the Kanbans which are specific to that particular supply area and specific material respective to material. Or otherwise, I will see in particular just in a minute. Application. No data. Okay. Fine. Kanban 6. With respect to material, is there any possibility? Let me check it. It's only the usage of the transactions, nothing great. Kanban 3, we have 6 Kanban. For the material Kanban 3, this is the Kanban and Kanban material. Supply. First one is the supply area, second one is the material, and these are the number of Kanban. This is the quantity per Kanban, and what is the replenishment strategy that we are taken it up.
Yeah.
Of course, we will get into this one, the details of this one. This is full, and one is still empty, and this one is we made it full, something like this. You can see the details of this Kanban. Here, one is full, the other are in still waiting status as of now. Clear?
Yeah.
It will give you like our MS12 transactions there in the repeated manufacturing method. It will give you all the transactions, transactions that are happening for that particular MS12. Similarly, it will give a summarized view of all the Kanbans assets. So you can see the details from one single screen.
Yeah.
And the corresponding material documents, corresponding schedule line, corresponding status with the quantities, everything. You can see that PK18. This is the transaction portion.
Great. Yeah.
MD04 is already we are aware of it, not of much addition. JIT call is basically if you want to trigger any JIT calls for the summarized JIT call on the, you can make use of this transaction. This point after the calculation formula, this I will explain the signal, triggering of the signal, and then triggering of this what is that automatic calculation, how it is taking it up. That I will explain it one more time regarding to this. Once I will explain the formula, you can understand that how quantity of the Kanban can be changed by keeping the number of Kanban, or number of Kanbans can be changed by keeping the quantity of the Kanban as a pixel. And there is one more point I want to make it clear to you, Chandra. What we are triggering it is, we are triggering directly the raw material to raw material, right, Chandra? That means we are considering the particular raw material, and then we are creating the requirement at the raw material level. But in real time, there are cases where you may not be knowing such that how much is the requirement, direct requirement of that particular material, because it is one of the dependency material for the other header material, right, Chandra? That means, for example, if it is one of the BOM components, say for example, in the BOM, in the item details, there is one supply area, you can assign it, Chandra. For example, this one is our material. I hope this material is available. Let us see. Yeah, it is there. And if I go to the items of this one, For the discipline, I need RM1 and I need RM2, right, Chandra?
Uh-huh.
Suppose, for example, I want to maintain the Kanban for this particular material RM1. There is an option available at the BOM level itself. You can maintain the This is the supply area, Chandra. The moment you assign the supply area and production storage location, then system will automatically trigger the Kanbans to this supply area, Chandra.
Uh-huh.
Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
This is the case where your dependent requirements will be passed to your supply area, Chandra.
Uh-huh.
And in this case, you need not to trigger it how many number of Kanbans or at which point of a time or something like that, because this requirement will be triggered from this header material.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the number of Kanbans and all that, if you go for automatic calculation, system will decide it. Okay, if I fix up the quantity of the Kanban, then it will create either 2 or 3 depending upon the demand of the header material.
Uh-huh.
The moment your demand for the header material changes, number of Kanbans also changes. If it increases, it will increase depending upon the requirement as such.
Uh-huh.
Is it clear, Chandra?
Yeah.
This is in the item details. How I came to here is in the BOM, in the one of the item details, if you select this item, click on to the item details, there is an option available where you can assign the supply area for that particular BOM component.
Yeah.
Of course, before assigning it, you have to create that supply area for that particular material, Chandra.
Yeah.
Without creating, we cannot assign it, of course. That is a minimum mandatory. Because, for example, if I want to assign this one, then I can assign it in the status second tab. There is an option available where I can assign the supply area for this particular material.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is, this is as a Kanban base part is concerned, I think this is enough, Chandra. May not be, of course, because the things we can go for automatic calculation and combination of the formula tomorrow, and then accordingly I will give more information.
Yeah.
The main cycle is followed by this 7 or 10 steps only. Maximum of 7 steps are more than enough in order to run a simple Kanban with a control cycle, Chandra. Classic Kanban with control cycle. Of course, the options are what we have been looked into. The option is external procurement. It can be an internal procurement or it can be a cost transfer depending upon the requirement as well.
Yeah.
I'll take it up to tomorrow a bit of on the calculation part, automatic calculation part, and we'll switch it over to our variant configuration theory part of it. Is that okay, Chandra?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stop up to here, Chandra.
Yeah. Thank you, Raj.
Okay. Thank you, Chandra. Good evening. Bye.
You're